Thank you so much, Jude, for speaking to us. So clearly many are expectant that at some point we will see derivatives available to be traded at the NSE. But can you just help us appreciate what you are trying to achieve with the workshop today?
All right, thank you so much, Wally, for having us. It's always a pleasure to be here. As you know, the SEC recently approved or sent out the rules for derivatives trading. On the back of the rules, the NSE has already sent for approval, which they also approved. So clearly, we now have the regulatory framework for how the derivatives will trade in Nigeria. So this workshop essentially was to more or less provide a knowledge sharing session so that the market participants can have an appreciation of the regulatory framework of how they will engage in terms of setting up the technology that they will require, in terms of how they will be onboarded as membership, the sort of capital requirements that they will need, and more importantly, in terms of the sort of products that we will be seeing in the market in the near future.
Right. So you've mentioned a few of the moving parts. So products, capital requirements, everything to assure investors that the market will have integrity and will work. The big question is, when do you anticipate that the market will take off?
Well, as you know, just at the workshop, it was said derivatives should have started like yesterday. Obviously, we do see sort of derivative trading more importantly around OTC platforms. And so what the exchange is striving to do now is to bring those sort of trades into an organized exchange trading. And as you know, in terms of cost, I think the cost efficiency is usually like 8 times cheaper to trade on exchange listed derivatives as opposed to doing it OTC. And so the plan in terms of how it will start and the onboarding process is more or less dependent on the efficiency of the whole process based on the daily members who are willing to participate in the market. As you know, at the NSE, we have close to 11 or more daily members who have indicated interest to trade this particular product. And the rules to trade these products are already in effect. And so, to a large extent, I think the only aspect of the whole trading circle that is yet to be completed is the central, the CCP. So what that is, but there's a lot of work ongoing there as well in terms of the NSE working with the CSS have set up an NG Clear and have submitted an application already to the SEC. And once the approval for that comes through, then we'll see the whole process completed and we'll begin to see a lot more activities around this product.
All right, so you just mentioned that the CCP is perhaps the most critical part for the market to kick off. But can you just give us your estimate or your target internally in terms of when you anticipate that this market could kick off?
Holistically, there are so many issues to consider in terms of the capital requirements for the daily member firms, the ability to put together the capital, in terms of onboarding, in terms of training, the ability to have the sort of training required for the market participants. We do think that before the end of the year, we should have a lot more clarity as to how that will start. But I must say that the NSE is working aggressively through the X Academy, our knowledge sharing platform. And we have done a lot of training internally and we'll continue to train in terms of certification of the market participants. So we'll be very active around product development, just ensuring that the market participants have the requisite infrastructure in terms of technology to drive this business. And so we think that before the end of the year, we should see a kickoff in actual trading around this product.
Well, we certainly look forward to it. Thank you so much for speaking to us today. Jude Chiemeka, Head of Trading Business Division at the NSE.